How's it going, guys? It's me. I haven't made a video in a long time, uh, and I was thinking of something different to do, other than like an unboxing or a collection or anything of that nature. I was thinking of doing a discussion on something that highly interests me and is highly debated in the Dragon Ball community, and I wanted to have a discussion about it and put my opinion and perspective out there about it. Um, Now, this has probably been the biggest discussion in the Dragon Ball community next to Goku vs. Superman or I don't know, a new series, but today I will be discussing, is Dragon Ball GT really canon? Is it non-canon? Is it canon? Is it part of the story? Is it part of the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z story? Is it a legit continuation or is it fan-made? Is it I don't know why people say that. Right here, I'll do my best to make this really quick because I can talk about this for a long time because I myself, I'll put this out there before I even start. I enjoy Dragon Ball GT for what it is. I am a Dragon Ball GT fan. I didn't really see anything wrong with it that some people point out character development and stuff or lack of character development. Okay, I'll begin. Alright, so what we need to discuss first is the definition of canon in regards to literature. Basically, it means official. Now, it was officially produced, like the Dragon Ball Z anime and Dragon Ball anime itself, by Toei Animation. And in regards to this, people like to say, oh, it's only been made by Toei Animation. That's what separates GT from Z and Dragon Ball, and that it wasn't following Akira Toriyama's manga. While that may be true, we have to also look at what you are considering canon right now. Battle of Gods and Fukatsu no F, and the recently announced Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super is in the same line as Dragon Ball GT, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people are saying, oh my god, Dragon Ball Super is about to knock Dragon Ball GT out of the planet. It'll never be discussed again whether it's canon or not. I like to argue with them. Dragon Ball Super, as stated on the press release a few weeks ago, is being overseen by Toriyama. It's not being 100% done by Toriyama. Majority of the animation team will probably be doing this. Like, I'm assuming majority of the animation team did Fukatsu no F and did majority of the story production and such. Now, I hold on to that point because this was the same thing that was done with Dragon Ball GT. Toriyama created the designs for Dragon Ball GT, the character designs. He came up with some story elements, a lot of the art, and he oversaw it. And he said, you can read this on Kanzenshuu, it's world's best Dragon Ball forum, that Toriyama actually approved of Dragon Ball GT. He said that the fans can enjoy it as either a part of the story, expansion of the universe, or as a side story. Now, after that, you never heard Toriyama discuss GT again. Everybody puts on the comment section, oh, Toriyama says this about GT, he hates GT, he's trying to knock GT out of the planet, he's trying to knock GT out of existence, but that's not the case. You have not heard him say this. And tell me this, with these recent movies, you would think that these movies would be based off of maybe after the Tenkaichi Budokai at the end of the Dragon Ball Z manga, and maybe that would knock Dragon Ball GT out of relevance. But no, Toriyama with these movies has constantly made the timeline for these movies place before the end of the Tenkaichi Budokai with Oob. And why do you think that is? Now, I'm not saying that Toriyama himself is remembering GT, because he forgets a lot of stuff, even Z. He forgets some of the Saiyan transformations, but he continuously does this where he places the movies before. As we saw, Battle of Gods is placed right after Majin Buu, but it's before the Tenkaichi Budokai. Same with Fukatsu no F. And Dragon Ball Super is said to be somewhere around the same time, right after Fukatsu no F. But we haven't gotten confirmation yet, because they said after the Majin Buu saga, and technically the end of the Tenkaichi Budokai counts. It counts as the Majin Buu saga unless Japanese rephrase things in a different way. Technically, that wouldn't be the Majin Buu saga because Majin Buu has already been defeated. It's more of an epilogue than anything, but it still fits within the saga. It's still in Season 9 of Dragon Ball Z. It's still in all these different releases of DVDs that are packed with the Majin Buu saga. So it makes sense. All we will have to do at this point is find out if Dragon Ball Super overlaps with Dragon Ball GT, or in the timeline for GT, then we can say this: Dragon Ball Super is indeed over GT, but we won't. I don't think we should still count GT as not canon, because if we recall, Battle of Gods, when it was first released out, that they said this was a sequel to Akira Toriyama's manga, but that these were stories that he wanted to put in the manga. Maybe we consider those manga sequels. With Dragon Ball GT, we should consider it an anime sequel because that was what it was considered when it first came out. Dragon Ball GT in no way does it completely abandon the story. No, it's a follow-up to the story that we've all known. Unlike Dragon Ball Evolution, where Akira Toriyama is actually known to have come out and speak his hatred towards Dragon Ball Evolution and make Battle of Gods because of it. You still haven't heard Toriyama say, "Oh, Dragon Ball GT is not canon. I don't approve of it." No, you haven't seen it. And not only this, if we are going off of canon, this word that everybody likes to throw out, majority of these fans' favorite characters and scenes are gone. Because canon, if we're going off of the real definition, is off of the manga, and majority of these fans have not read the manga, actually. A lot of them don't read the manga, they just watch the anime, and they will find out that a lot of what they like is not in there. Most fight scenes are limited to a few panels. Entire arcs, such as the Otherworld tournament, is completely gone, meaning Paikon's gone. If you like Paikon, he's not there anymore, sorry, because you go off of the definition of canon. These Japanese, Toei Animation itself, when they produce these movies, as you saw with episode of Bardock and Yosun Goku and Friends, which, so in my opinion, if we go with canon definition, it's not canon because Nishio was the one that made Yosun Goku and Friends. Akira Toriyama, like GT, approved of it. If we're going off of your definition, Nishio came up with the character Tarble, but somehow Tarble became canon as soon as Battle of Gods was released and he was mentioned in there. And even that is iffy to me because Battle of Gods is a movie. Even if it was directed by Toriyama, as though it were from the manga, it has inconsistencies, such as the absence of Bulla, who is said to be a year older than Pan, who is nowhere to be found in this movie or in Fukatsu no F. That being said, that makes Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods a little bit iffy, but this is a movie. Most movies are not being considered canon, so as soon as you consider one movie canon over the other, it becomes kind of iffy. Also, with the aging of Goten and Trunks, it's just a huge inconsistency, and it needs to be corrected. It wasn't even mentioned in Fukatsu no F because they're outgone. Maybe they're aged in that timeline. We'll just have to see with Dragon Ball Super. But in regards to Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball GT out of the 3 series has the least amount of inconsistencies, believe it or not. And it does nothing to completely contradict the story because it's an extension of the story. It doesn't make sense to call Dragon Ball GT canon if you want to consider things like the Otherworld tournament and all of these things from the anime canon. And some people like to consider movies canon, and those shouldn't be canon. I see those as alternate universes. But the real question is, why does this matter? Why does Dragon Ball GT, in specific, being canon matter to you? I think I know why. Because the majority of people think Dragon Ball GT sucks. That is an opinion. I myself, like I said earlier, I enjoyed Dragon Ball GT for what it was, It's regarded as overrated. I could see that, but I don't see the problem with Dragon Ball GT. There was only a few instances where I had an issue with Dragon Ball GT, and that was the first few Shadow Dragons. Most people complain about the very first arc of Dragon Ball GT, the hunt for the Black Star Dragon Balls arc, as being boring and not part of the characters. But the truth is, the first half of Dragon Ball GT, if you've seen the original Dragon Ball, you would enjoy it because it is an homage to that series. And majority of these Dragon Ball Z fans are shallow because they do not watch. They've never seen. I know some people in person that have never seen the original Dragon Ball, but they claim to be a fan. How are you gonna know anything about the backstory of these characters if you haven't seen the original Dragon Ball series, which is, in my opinion, the one with the most quality. But yeah, like a lot of people complain about that. There are not many issues with Dragon Ball GT. They chose certain characters to be the main role, and the thing that you need to understand is a lot of these characters that you were complaining about that are not having roles in Dragon Ball GT don't have significant roles either in Z. Majority of the Z fighters, the humans, their role disappears as soon as the Namek saga appears, unless you're Krillin. The Saiyans, like the Saiyans' children, they barely get a role like Gohan and Boo in the Boo saga. He definitely gets that one spotlight, and then he gets absorbed. Gotenks gets the spotlight, and then he gets absorbed because he was screwing around. So any of these complaints about lack of character development can be argued against because they're all in the Z. Toriyama broke all of this in the manga. Dragon Ball GT is going along with that. They expanded it by giving Goten and Trunks and all of them their own lives, which is what you should be caring about because character development is essential. Not always caring, even though Dragon Ball has always been a show about action, you shouldn't always just care about Gohan going in and just being in his ultimate form, but you should care about what kind of character he is. Gohan is not a fighter. All of this is just being carried in GT. At first, I did have a problem with the lack of Vegeta, but Vegeta was later revealed and he was Super Saiyan 4. But yeah, I don't really understand why people hate Dragon Ball GT. I've heard of many different things, but the main reason they say is it sucks and that you're not backing it up. A lot of people say Bio Broly sucks. A lot of people say Battle of Gods sucked, and most people love Battle of Gods. It was all a matter of opinion. Say, for instance, Dragon Ball Super comes out, and it's worse than GT, but it's made by Toriyama. What are you going to do then? Are you going to consider it not canon? That is my question to the whole Dragon Ball community. I hope some of these points, or my rant, got through to some people. I mean, this could be discussed forever. We should just be like the Marvel and DC comics fans. Many people have written stories for Batman and Superman via comics, and nobody ever argues about that being canon or not. Enough said.